Here's Rick, Cape Cod, Massachusetts. Back to the phones we go. It's great to have you, sir. Hello.
Hi, Rush. First time, part time. I too, like Dr. Carson, was accepted to West Point without ever having applied. I was in basic training and was pulled out of the ranks, brought before the commanding officer, and told that I had been accepted.
What year was this?
This was in 1981.
1981, and they just you were in basic training, and they pulled you out and said,
"That's right." My drill sergeant was just as shocked as I was. I just did a 2-year enlistment as an enlistee, and there I was in front of the battery commander with some paperwork to sign. And as you alluded to earlier, what prevented me as a young man from doing that, which was a foolish mistake on my part, was it was a 10-year military obligation, which sounded like a lifetime when you're 18.
I can imagine. But you are right. This I'm not familiar with. I'm not familiar with pulling somebody basically off the obstacle course and saying, hey, we need you.
Well, what I understand, Rush, was later on in the Stars and Stripes, they had explained, there was an explanation that they were having trouble getting quality people back then. Just when Reagan had first come about and was building up the military, and pre-Top Gun movie, so the military wasn't as popular, and they were doing a lot of creative things.
All right, so okay, you're right. We're coming out of Vietnam and Nixon and Watergate and Carter.
That's right.
And the military had the most prominent military operation at that time was Carter's failure to rescue hostages from Iran, that desert operation that totally botched. So, but even at that, I've never known the military to be in such dire straits that in order to get cadets at West Point, they actually had to go out and just offer slots from great performers from the enlisted ranks. But I'm not protesting what you say, or I've never heard.
Yeah,
of it.
no, I still have a little slip of paper from my captain because he wouldn't let me out of there until I signed a piece of paper saying that if I ever changed my mind during my enlistment, that he'd get me back in there. But I didn't know. It was ignorance.
It is at such variance with what the normal process is to gain admittance to either West Point or the Naval Academy.
Believe me, I've been beat up over it over the years by my parents and friends for my mistake.
Right. Well, anyway, what we've got here, if you're just joining us, the Politico has a story claiming Ben Carson has wildly exaggerated and maybe lied about aspects of his story involving West Point. And careful inspection shows there aren't any lies here. And it was a Politico that had their exclusive taking out Herman Cain back in 2012. So